Welcome, race fans, to Austria, to the Red Bull Ring for our Austrian Grand Prix coverage. Today, we have got a sprint race for you as well. And welcome and thank you to Floydie, Jaffa Jake, AJ, and welcome back to Triple Bay, who rejoins us from being missing for a little while here. But it's good to have you back. We've got championship contenders Ricky Maru and Merckx joining the lobby in a bit of a race with each other, one after the other. Which is great to see. Merckx leads our championship on 161 points. He also has a 6 Grand Prix race winning streak, and he's hoping to extend that out to 7 today. We have Ricky Maru in second place, trying to overcome Merckx, continually being batted away through the course of our season when they've been on track together. Some epic battles between the two. Go back into our back catalogue and check out some of the clips that we've shared as well, to see some of the great racing between these two. We've got AJ, who's on 81 points, who you'll see on screen as ARL 33. Then in fourth place, we have Milan Mulan on 72 points. The double world champion, the Maestro Moist, is on 66, and in fifth place, then we have Speedy Spud, our host and organizer, on 57. We have Ole on 52. Alpha Alex has 30 points in eighth place, 5 ahead of Leon. Sticky has 19 points in 10. We have Nike, Davey, Captain, and Ratcatcher, all the same person in 18 points in 11th. Ahead of Floyd Pink on 14 points. We have Waitsy reserving in 13th. Marco in 14th on 11 points. Joint 15th is Jay and Atsu. Then we have Chuck Norris on 5. Joint 18th place is Psycho Lemmy and Jaffa Jake on 4 points each. Jaffa Jake saying this is his race. I'm assuming you mean to win. Then we have Triple Bay on 2 points, but hoping to add to that again. Has Jessica back once again with the Renegade Master. Pretty sure it's back once again, but Jessica already this evening just explaining away on my previous stream the spelling errors creeping in today. AJ isn't staying at home at the moment, sprinting back and forth for the race. Well, thank you for that. Good to have you here. We're going to go straight into one-shot sprint qualifying for the drivers, and then we will have a sprint race, 12 laps. Then we'll have one-shot qualifying, and I think a break before a 36-lap, 50% distance race around the Red Bull Ring. So a jam-packed schedule for you here today. I'm just going to watch my screen carefully because you never know when everybody ticks the green button. We've got, after Miami, the championship standings for constructors. Looks like VCarb on top on 188 points from Sauber on second place on 171. It's much tighter at the top, and the inverse of the drivers in the drivers' championship. Haas have 82 points and are over 100 points away from VCarb at the front. Then we have Aston Martin in fourth on 77. Williams have 72 points in fifth place ahead of McLaren 71 points. Then a gap to Ferrari on 30, Alpine on 22, Red Bull on 19, and Mercedes on just the 2 points. Jessica says that she has dyslexia. I can't quite make that work, but I know what you mean. So very good to have you, and I know what you mean most of the time. So we're going to get the ready up command. The green light is given. We'll be on track very shortly for that one-shot qualifying position. Let's get underway, shall we? I'll say that, and then we'll go for a loading screen, and then we'll build excitement, and then we'll stare at the paddock for a while. I have to say, Moist, typically very good in one shot. Merckx, strangely enough, even though quite often he ends up leaving his main qualifying in Grand Prix qualifying sessions to a one-shot at the end. In one-shot qualifying, Merckx has shown one of his only weaknesses so far this season. So let's see if he can clear that one for us and get to start at the front. If not, it will be more entertaining for the rest of us. Welcome to Dobo and to Price, who join us today as well for the first time. Good to see them, unless they've just changed their gamer tag and are having a bit of fun with us. But I did know someone called Price in League Racing many years ago, so I don't know if it's the same fella having changed his name. Dyslexia. Good. Much better. Jessica S. I know what you mean. So, can we actually get on track, or are we going to stare at the paddock? We're going to stare at the paddock, folks. I haven't had a weather forecast either. I don't know if Jessica is into weather reporting for us today, but you're probably our best hope of a weather forecast if you can do it for me. Anybody else, if they have it? AJ is usually pretty hot on the weather as well, so let's see if we can't get a nice update for that one. Now let's get ourselves trackside as soon as possible. Messages coming in to me at exactly the wrong time. I'm not going to be able to pay any attention to those messages, so please accept my apology for that. Lots of banter in the paddock chat, as you always see here. As AJ says, sunny, sunny, sunny. Well, doesn't look great right now, AJ, but hopefully dry as far as you can tell anyway. But certainly looks a bit hazy out there as I look across my commentary position. The countdown begins. Will be one-shot qualifying for the sprint race very soon, and of course a 25%, or roughly 20% distance sprint race, followed by a 50% race here around the Red Bull Ring. But it is raced to laps rather than time, so it's very clear as to how long we have. No mandatory pit stop for the sprint as usual, but a change of tyre compound is required in the race. Let's get trackside for one-shot quali finally, shall we? And do our best to ride with the drivers. We're riding on board the Haas of Leon through turn 1 anyway, and then we'll try and scroll through the drivers as a little bit of sideways action happening for him as we try and scroll up through the order and tag whoever is currently on top. Well, Moist has had the best first corner anyway. Dobo's right up there in the Williams. Moist into the official turn 3 then, and leading us away as we try and see how he is going to track through this lap. Dobo's just got ahead. I'm reading Dobo as I would Dodo, the extinct bird, and he had a slightly problematic turn 4. So it looks like Moist through turn 5 into turn 6 is ahead, as he usually is in sprint qualifying, just seemingly able to switch on the pace very quickly. Where is Merckx? Well, he's down in 10th as things stand. Ole doing a good job. Ricky Maru up in 4th position, but he hopefully trying to get himself on the front row as Moist with a little bit of oversteer into turn 9 through turn 10 very neatly from Moist. Will he complete qualifying at the head? It looks like he will by 0.2, nearly 0.3 of a second. Moist is imperious in one-shot qualifying, and I think if we could one-shot quali this entire season, he would be a very, very happy person. But Moist it is on provisional pole then for the sprint race ahead of Ole by 2.5 of a second. I got a bit excited there. Then we've got Dobo in third with Ricky Maru, the second in the championship, and a bit of the bridesmaid so far this season, although did win round 1 very, very well. He's just got one position, as it turns out, ahead of key rival Merckx. Then Triple Bay coming back to us and on to 6th place. Great result for Triple Bay returning. ARL maybe disappointed with 7th, but Milan in 8th, Marco 9th, Alpha Alex in 10th. We have Speedy Spud, Jaffa Jake, Floyd Pink, 12 Urchin, Davy Norris, Sticky, Price, Atsu, Leon, a 20-car grid for us. And I think we have probably scrapped the formation lap, but I haven't unfortunately had any confirmation on that. Again, maybe Jessica, could you just get me? Could you just lean in on on your partner and ask them if we are going to skip the formation? I think we probably will after the utter disaster we experienced last week. I saw EA saying that they were fixing a rare occurrence of the formation lap causing a lobby reset. Well, it's certainly rare for us. We've tried it once and it's happened once in F1 24, so in that sense, yes, it has been quite rare. AJ, maybe you're in the chat. I presume we're not formation lapping, but equally, I'm not sure that you're necessarily into the latest connotations of the rules and regulations, given that you're vacationing all over the place. So we shall wait and see. But a 20-car field in the middle of August is certainly a very, very good showing. Triple Bay saying big quali. That was a great performance, Triple Bay. We'll look out for Jaffa Jake as well, who has still got the best gamer tag I've seen so far this year. Jessica says 32 degrees. Okay, super. We get underway then, and it's 5 lights on for the next round of the championship. Round 8 begins, and it's drop the clutch and go, go, go. Strike Moist away well. Ricky Maru, though, just watching Ricky right with key rival Merckx as they go side by side down the first main straight here, and heading towards turn 3. It is Ricky Maru slightly ahead on the inside line as they head down into the corner as Dobo is holding the apex. That's going to block Ricky Maru. That looks like some damage on Ricky Maru's front wing, potentially, or the diffuser of Dobo going very slowly at the apex because he slightly overcooked it going in. But Ricky Maru still holding on to the inside line into turn 4. He's going to try and hang on here to turn 5 and just sneaks ahead of Merckx at the moment. And it is Moist in the lead by over a second from Ole and Dobo, with Ricky Maru in 4th and Merckx in 5th place. Let's have a look at the tyre situation, shall we? But it's medium tyres on everybody's car. No one risking the soft tyres for the duration of this race, this little sprint 12-lapper. Then we've got some changes in the background of the circuit as we go for a very wide-angle view of the next run here into lap 2. But it's 4 places gained for 12 Urchin. He's now in 10th position. We've got Leon up 6, Marco down 6, Atsu up 4, Sticky, Price, and the Jaffa Jake claiming that this is his race. That's not working out. Aged like eggs, I would say, perhaps, for Jaffa Jake. That's down to 18th position now, but maybe he's building to a great finish here in the main feature race. We've got Dobo hanging on to 3rd position at the moment, but Ricky getting a little bit impatient now, trying to get past the DRS, not yet equipped for the drivers. Excuse me, just managed to smash my headset like a real pro. It's lap 2 of 12. Moist leads, but by a decreasing margin to the Hector Ole, with Dobo in 3rd place, debuting with us. And then that's a wide run from the V-carb of, I think, ARL, but he's in 7th place at the moment as the fastest laps get traded here. This is Ole trying up the inside of the Aston Martin, locked a tyre, and thankfully they didn't come to contact. Dobo will have a good run now on everyone in the DRS train here, and they're all going to crowd out our Maestro Moist. Dobo ultimately down the inside of the apex, and that was Moist put out onto the outside of the circuit. How many places is he going to drop? I think it's going to be 4 in a single corner for our Maestro, down into 5th place as he's going to try and hang on now to the next position. Dobo, our new leader, with Ole right with him. Ole now straight back into the lead, and Ricky Maru following through like an absolute pro is Ricky, just capitalizing. Great positioning from Ricky Maru, and still Moist hanging on here, and he comes to contact, and that's a Haas round. That was no, that was a Mercedes, excuse me, another grey car, but the Mercedes at Triple Bay spinning down to the order, and he tried to sneak one into turn 7, and it didn't quite work out. The robust, we've seen this before, the Aston Martin built out of bricks. It certainly seems to shrug off this slight contact situations that we have. Merckx looking for an opportunity, didn't quite do it, as they both, almost in unison, the Mercedes of Dobo and the Stake F1 of Merckx, managed to get through. Ricky has a small gap to Merckx behind, who goes for an absolute dive bomb down the inside, has to just duck out of it. Ricky saw him coming with just enough time and gave up the inside. Dobo back past Merckx after that wild moment from Merckx. That was a very unusual pass from Merckx, as he's still hogging the inside line. Moist is trying to sneak through now and get those places back. It is absolutely action-packed here in our feature race. It's only 1/3 complete so far. It's Ole in the lead from Ricky Maru, who would love to get a win on the board here ahead of Merckx while they're both on track together. Ricky's done it in, I think, the Imola Sprint. He's done it at the first race of the year, but he's not been able to finish frequently ahead of Merckx, especially in a feature race situation, and I know it's getting to him. It's Moist in 4th, down 3 from his starting position, unfortunately for him. Absolutely crowded out as they all open their DRS on him, but in fairness, he didn't take the inside line, didn't defend the inside. We've got Ricky Maru then, 0.2 of a second with the first car with DRS profit, heading uphill slightly to the braking of turn 3. And he couldn't quite get the job done, but he'll have another bash at it here. He's got Merckx with the DRS open behind him. And we know Merckx is more than willing to try it down the inside. Ricky looking a little shy into the inside line. And Ole locking the tyres, as Ole tends to do this season. And it doesn't tend to hurt the driver's lap time too greatly. But Ole in the lead then by 0.3 of a second only. Ricky Maru and Merckx each have climbed 2 positions so far. Everybody remember on medium tyres, if you're worried that I'm showing the positions changed. How about Leon? Up 10 so far, up to 9th position. What a start for Leon. And we've got Davy Norris and Marco fighting over the final place on the circuit. We've lost a car since between one shot and the sprint race. Here is Merckx having a look down the inside. Ricky concentrating on his exit out of turn 1. Will that prove to be a good move? But Merckx still seems to have the pace here. Ricky's going to stake a claim to the inside line. Forgive the pun. Down the inside goes Ricky into turn 3. And claiming that position just boxes Ole out slightly. Merckx is going to follow through, I think, unless Ole can open the DRS as well. Ricky is now having to take the inside line. Merckx is going to go all the way down the inside. Is he? No, Ricky down to the inside line. Holds that inside. Holds the lead, at least for 2 corners at this stage. And Ricky and Merckx back in the lead of this race. And Ole down to 3rd position. Moist, though, still hot on the heels of this. Looks like we've got the top 5 within a second of each other. Absolutely incredible. Davy Norris out of the race, unfortunately, and will be catching no rats tonight unless they're in the pit lane. We've then got Ricky Maru in 1st position then, closing out. And there is Moist with the first of the lead drivers with a penalty. Moist is about to lose out into turn 1, I fear, from Dobo. But no, Moist did get the exit nicely. Here is Ole then, trying to wait and see if Merckx and Ricky are going to come together. But Ricky holds on, makes Merckx go the long way around the outside here. Ricky will lay claim to that apex, try and get at least 2 wheels on the racing line on the exit of turn 3. Does so quite nicely. He's still on the inside line. Remember, the majority of the turns around this circuit, because it is a clockwise circuit, are to the right. Ricky, though, still up the inside, holds on, but it looks like it's going to be Merckx on the favoured racing line on the exit of turn 5, who holds on. Ricky dives down the inside into turn 6. They are going to go side by side. Once again, Merckx will try and hold on through turn 8. You can just about do this, 2 wide into turn 8, and they manage to hold on. Ricky still's around the outside, though. He's stuck on the outside of the circuit. It's better grip on the outside for braking. He almost nibbles away at the diffuser, but Merckx is established back into the lead of this race. He's leading this championship. Moist, the Maestro, is closing in on Ole, and it is 8 laps of frantic action so far, and it doesn't look like the final 4 are going to be any different. That is a driver going very wide. That's Alpha Alex in the Ferrari, streaking past Dobo, who had a wild moment there. Merckx down a place. It looks like Ricky's got the inside line with the first DRS profit. He's going to hope that Ole gets ahead. Ole tags the back of Ricky Maru through turn 3, and Ricky's now just slightly off the momentum. And he's off the DRS as well. He's going to try and use that, but he's opened the door in trying to get the slipstream down into turn 4 and 5. Ole managed to get the DRS profit on Ricky, but he didn't quite make the move through. What an absolute battle we have got going on here. They talk about battles for places, but this is special from our lead drivers here. Ole, I'm sure, will stay with these 2 for the sprint race, and so will Alpha Alex and Moist. But come the feature, I think these 2 will probably drift away as the race tyre wear, fuel wear takes effect. They tend to just rise a level, go into an extra gear. Ricky's derating or harvesting into turn 1. Merckx looked a little bit wild going through turn 1 and coming out of it, but Ricky unable to capitalise just yet. Here he is, looking for that inside line. Merckx not unhappy to give him that inside line. Ricky, though, giving up the position hunt here to keep the DRS, but I think misjudged the exit slightly. He's going to let Merckx get away. This is the biggest lead we've had so far at 0.4 of a second. Ricky staying down the inside line. Price picks up a 3-second penalty. They are definitely adding up easily done around the Red Bull Ring, and they are going to get very, very large as we get through into the feature race. I'm looking at you, Marco, and I'm hoping that it's not going to be the case this time out. Ole is in third. Alpha Alex is in fourth. We've got Moist in fifth position now. Milan passes Dobo, the Williams drivers. Not for the first time this season, Williams drivers certainly trading places, and they've lost 2 seconds to this group at this stage. It's lap 9 of 12. It's about to start lap 10 of 12. Merck leads by 3.5 tenths of a second to Ricky Maru, Ole, and now Alpha Alex. These are the real all-stars. These are previous race winners, all of them, and they are absolutely going for it. We're going to have 2 by 2 into the next corner. Ricky down the inside, neatly done, and looking for that traction area on the outside, but he's going to give up that DRS once again. Merckx carefully balancing his exits out of turn 3 to capitalise. Ollie down the inside of Ricky now. Ricky will have the good traction area of turn 5 if he can just hold a car's width, but he didn't quite. I think they possibly touched, or Ricky felt the squeeze to the outside of turn 5. He's now in a bad position, losing momentum, dropping down, and you can see the tyre wear differential. Great graphic here as Ricky Maru only losing 22% of the tyres. Alpha Alex getting a little bit limited here. Strangely, Alpha Alex on the front right limited on a predominantly right-hand turning circuit. But Ricky's going to have to do something here. He cannot let Merckx continue to win. He certainly cannot let Ole beat him today in the sprint and get 2 points on him and lose 2 points to Merckx. 8 for the win here, 6 for third place, obviously 7 for second, but that's what it's going through Ricky's mind at the moment. There goes Ole going for the lead of the race, and there is bowling. That is Moist doing a favour for the championship. It's not going to do himself any favours in the stewards room. He has gone absolute bowling into turn 2. He has turned around championship leader Merckx. And do we see the beginnings of another rival, Merckx and Moist? Potentially, that was a bad moment for Moist. I wonder if he's now slowing to let everybody back through. I'm sure that was a misjudgment from Moist, but yeah, bit shocking. He's letting someone through by going out on the gravel. That is beyond generous, I'm assuming, unless he's certainly got a problem. And it's come to tears, and it has not been a good finish here from what was an epic sort of 10 fantastic laps of racing, but just a misjudgment there from Moist down the inside, turned our championship leader around. He's been in that position before and will know exactly how Merck feels about it. He's allowed several drivers through. I think Moist is out. No, Ricky out of the race. That is huge for Ricky Maru's championship, and that is 3 wheels on his wagon. I don't know if that was a misjudgment or a touch between the rivals, but it's absolutely gifted points difference here to Merckx. We will, I think, have a different race winner. Excuse me on the screen. I think we're going to have a different race winner for you from what we've had before, but that is huge for Ricky. It's Ole, 1 second away from Alpha Alex in towards the final sector of this race. Price picks up another penalty. Ricky, obviously a retiree now. Triple Bay's down in 15th position. It looks like Jaffa Jake has gained a huge amount of places so far. As Nike says, get in, Ole. Here we go for McLaren. This is going to be a fantastic sprint race win in Austria for Ole, ahead of Alpha Alex, with championship leader Merckx in 3rd position still. The streak is definitely vulnerable during our sprints. We've got Milan in 4th, ARL beaten by Leon and Dobo at the line. Speedy Spud into 8th place. 12 Urchin is going to finish 3 places ahead of where he usually does, but a great slide from 12 Urchin. There's a way to finish the race out. I think he's scrapped those mediums now. Great slide from our 12 Urchin car. He goes into 9th. We've got Jaffa Jake in 10th place. No points for 9th and 10th. Floyd Pink in 11th. Marco 12th. Triple Bay Sticky. But the winner for McLaren is Ole, and sprinting incredibly well. Can he hold on to that kind of pace in the feature? Stay tuned. We've also got one-shot quali for that feature still to come. But it looks like it's going to be Ole. A absolutely action-packed and very clean first 10 laps. However, problems for Ricky, problems for Moist and Merckx into lap 11. And Ole was always there or thereabouts, never let the leaders get far away. and took the lead. Leon was driver of the sprint anyway, as gifted by the team. Yeah, great to see. So there is Ollie picking up the first points for today. 8 points for McLaren from Alfa Alexis, 7 for Ferrari. Much needed in the midfield, those points. Sauber have 6. Then Williams, a total of 8 with Milan in 4th, Dobo in 6th. Leon is in 5th place, ARL in 7th. Unhappy with that, he says. Very poor from his end. And then Speedy Spud in the Haas in 8th place. On to one-shot quali soon. It looks like several of our drivers still haven't changed the default avatar today, but there you can see the final finishing order, and I'll get into trouble if I don't show the whole screen. Oops. But at least I scrolled through it earlier on. Ollie says, finally a half win. Yeah, good result for Ollie. Great one overall. And I think we go into one shot now, and then we'll take a break. That's usually how it works, but I shall keep my eye on the driver chat room and make sure. We need setups for everybody. That's all important. It looks like a warm-up one-shot quali here. So there we go. Fantastic, entertaining race for everybody. And hopefully we will have even more fun for you in the feature race. One-shot quali. It's great to watch, but it's over very quickly. It's not super fun, but it's definitely a requirement here when we're sprinting. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. We almost were, actually. We almost had our start put back an hour today, and we almost had a sprint today instead of a sprint. But all is well. We are ready for the second one-shot quali. We're going to be looking at Ollie. We're going to be looking at Moist and Merckx. Try and capitalise on the pace that they often have in qualifying. Let's get trackside. Let's try and show you everything you need to know about the race. As Leon gets through turn 1, Ollie with a good start, it seems. Leon's right up there. Ollie just ahead. Look out for Moist here. I don't know if Moist might deliberately take himself out of qualifying. Dobo with another good spell at the start of qualifying here, streaks into the lead slightly. Let's see then as we head down towards turn 3, braking heavily. Look like good turn in, maybe a little bit lazy on the exit. Moist is already catching back up. Can he launch ahead before they hit turn 7? Not quite. Oh, that was Moist dropping right down the order. Suddenly, no, he's back into second. Ollie back into first. Dobo back into first. And then it's Ollie again, just as I cut away. Leon is growing incredibly well as well here. Here goes Leon into turn 9. It's Ollie ahead. It's Ricky Maru. Who's it going to be to the line? Is it going to be Ollie to take the sprint race victory? It is. 1.5 tenths of a second now in favour of Ollie from Leon, who was scorchingly fast through the one-shot quali. Great qualifying from Leon, but Ollie takes the pole. Really a good, another good session there from our drivers. Ollie with the pole position, 1.5 tenths ahead of Leon. Then we have ARL, much better qualifying from ARL, this time in P3. Definitely got the practice effect taking on. We've got Dobo in 4th, Milan in 5th, Marco in 6th, Alpha Alex in 7th, Merckx, very unusual, down in 8th position, but we haven't hit our fastest drivers all together yet. Floyd Pink is in 9th, Price is in 10th, we have Triple Bay in 11th, Davey Norris in 12th, 12 Urchin in 13th, missing out on his proper position there. Speedy Spud in 14th, Jaffa Jake in 15th. He's got a long way to go to make this his race. Ricky Maroon 16th. Oh, and then we've got Sticky Icky, Moist and Atsu. All did not qualify. Now, here we go then. It's time to go racing. We're going to try and get you some graphics shortly. But it's 5 lights on and it's 5 lights off. Let's go racing in the Red Bull Ring. And ultimately, straight away, that is Leon down the inside of Ollie. It looks like Ollie's going to hold on to the good traction zone, the good grip on the outside of the circuit, but Leon now switches back to the inside for the next corner. Will he be able to make the move down into turn 3? Great start from Leon out there on the medium tyres, as well as the Williams of Dobo undercuts and manages the old up and under from Ollie. So it looks like a good result here. Leon up into the start at the head of the field. We've got Ollie braking heavily around the outside, trying to hang on to that second position, but dropping 2 from the start is Ollie, as now Dobo is right up there, and we are going to be in an absolute thrill ride here with our drivers. Got fast drivers coming up from the back. We have got Merckx right down at the very back of the grid, and I'm not quite entirely sure why that is, but Price and Atsu swapping places. But at the moment, right at the head of the field, it is Leon leading us away from Dobo. Looks like all the drivers have gone for mediums as far as I can see at this early stage. Alpha Alex is in 6th, ARL is in 5th place, hoping to try and steal a march here and get in a good position for VCarb later on. Maybe that's going to change matters for his teammate, I'm not entirely sure. Price is retired. That's a difficult debut for Price, but hopefully he'll be back with a better result in next week's race. Leon trying to hang on to his position here, but there is Dobo taking no prisoners at the apex and completing the move here on the second bout of DRS down the second straightaway, and into turn 4 goes Dobo in the lead of the race. Then Leon in second, Ollie down and actually trying to fight off the advance of Milan from the rear here. Then we've got fast drivers. We've got Merckx in 17th, we've got Moist in 14th, Ricky Maru in 12th position, as Triple Bay and Jaffa Jake move forward as well. Great starting from our drivers. This is Dobo leading the race. Then we've got Leon and Ollie. Let's have a quick look at tyre selections. Now let's look at position change first, and you'll see 2 down for Ollie, 2 down from ARL, but still very much within a height, within a shout here of a podium tonight, these 2 drivers. Alpha Alex is in 6th, up 1. Floyd Pink's up 1. We've got Ricky Maru up 6 already. Jaffa Jake down 4 from the race that he said was going to be his tonight. I think that might have been a little bit of gamesmanship, maybe a little bit of pre-race chat going on, but he hasn't been able to back it up, has he, at this stage. Ricky up 6, Jaffa Jake down 4, as I said. Moist up 5, Atsu up 4, Merck down 8. Bizarre start for the drivers. There goes Dobo for the lead, and well, to hold on to the lead, I should say, as watched over the shoulder of Ollie, and through the halo. Leon's getting a good run out of the corner as well, and these top 3 continuing to battle hard. And you see this time after time in the Red Bull Ring. Ollie with a little bump and run on Leon perhaps, and trying to claim the inside line going into turn 9, and does so. It's getting a bit of a concertina, a bit of a traffic jam, as Milan then trying to capitalise on Leon's loss of momentum. They both have DRS, but tucking back in to behind Leon he goes. Ollie with the run though, coming out of turn 1. That's looking good as Dobo goes to the inside. Doesn't have DRS here. Ollie should be able to hang on to the outside run here as long as Dobo is generous at the apex, but Ollie already ahead under the braking for turn 3, and he's well ahead then by the time they run through. But is it too soon as Dobo goes to the inside line now? Ollie tries the defence, but it's way too late. Leon down the inside, going to follow Dobo through, banging wheels. Almost they go, the Haas and the McLaren, but the Haas will just about get the tail ahead before turn 6 and into turn 7. Leon back into second, Ollie down to third, and it is just follow my leader, but changing leaders over and over again in this Red Bull Ring here in Austria. And the top 5 or 6 separated by a second total. as they run through here, the kind of thing you can only really see in sim racing in Formula cars, but brilliant stuff nonetheless. Ollie in 3rd position, Milan right there with him. We've got a huge DRS train forming, and we've got all our fast drivers at the back of the grid, outside of the top 10 at the moment, outside of the top 9 I should say, fastest drivers in the championship. Oh, I'm going to get myself into trouble. Leon back in the lead, though, and takes the Williams of Dobo. Alpha Alex snatches one away from Ole as well. So Alpha Alex back into P3. Alpha Alex, a race winner in Season 2, has not really featured strongly for a win yet in the feature races of this season. But he'll be certainly hoping to correct that one soon enough, especially while Merckx and Ricky are out of touch here at the moment. Can Merckx actually get himself back into contention here? Merckx has got the hard tyres on at the moment. Every driver's still on their starting tyre. No one has had to bail to the pits. 12 Urchin, the only driver with a penalty so far in lap 5. Leon leads Dobo from Alpha Alex, Ole and Milan. And it is the start of lap 6 of 36. So quite naturally, we are 1/6 distance. And we're waiting then. Usually about 1/3 distance is where we get to the first pit stops. That was Ole getting all kinds of out of shape into turn 1. And is that ARL on his tail? It absolutely is. Dobo retakes the lead ahead, and you can just see that in the background of Leon as they try to take the apex of the following corners. Does that give Leon the opportunity here to open the MoneyGram rear wing? It does. And a look down the inside may be coming, but not quite there for him. Alpha Alex follows through, and they are still absolutely pinned together. The top 4 still separated by a second total. These drivers are so competitive here at the International Racing League. We absolutely love it. We may see safety cars. Things could still upset the order. Merckx is in 13th. We've got Moist in 11th. Ricky Maru in 8th. These are your main championship players. Milan's there too, but Milan's in 4th. And probably the best of the championship contenders at the moment here as this topsy-turvy race continues from qualifying from championship order. But it's definitely throwing a joker in amongst the pack of this season so far. Alpha Alex looking very racy here in the Ferrari. We'll get a double toe coming through the order. He may even be able to sneak the inside line here, Alpha Alex, as he's managed to get the inside. Certainly over Dobo, closing into the apex, but he's generous enough to give space at the exit. Didn't have the corner really to steal, and it's Dobo on the good rubber on the racetrack there to power on out. Dobo goes for the lead again on Leon. Leon just holding firm, leaving a car's width and holding on to first position. Alpha Alex nowhere to go really. Dobo in the middle of the circuit, so Alpha goes to the outside, sweeps back to the inside, and is gaining through the tiny little gap between turns 6 and turn 7. Alpha Alex definitely hungry to get into second position and be the first car with DRS profit, but he's got to pounce as soon as he's got that opportunity. David Norris, we heard from him, he's going for a point today, and he's just picked up a penalty. That's not going to help. We have 5 penalties on the track, 5 penalised drivers. It might be more than 5 penalties at this stage, but I don't want to cut away from the action. Atsu overtakes Speedy Spud at the tail of the field, but it's still Leon ahead of Dobo. Will it change again here with the DRS? Dobo down the inside. Leon, is he going to be equal here on the DRS detection point? He was actually slightly ahead, so he's going to lose out here to both Alpha Alex and to Dobo. Alpha Alex going down the inside, locking up Leon faster around the outside, taking the high line there. And he's going to try and cut back before they get to turn 6, but no bueno, no cigar for Leon. Down to 3rd now, and Alpha Alex has a shot here at a potential overtake for the lead. It's still lap 8. Dobo leads Alpha Alex and Leon now, with Ole just overtaking Leon in the short shoot there towards turn 9. Yes, indeed. Key championship players. Oh, good one from Milan. There's a pit stop happening, and that was Ricky Maru into the pits. So championship contenders, Ricky Maru into the pits. Merckx in 10th. Moist in 11th place. Moist complaining, essentially the reason he T-boned Merckx was a broken front wing that he's claiming was caused by Alex moving under braking in the sprint race. So I said it was out of character, but it was probably out of downforce as well for Moist. No overtake from Alpha Alex this time, but he's got the DRS once again. It will have to be from a long way back here. Does he leave the door open here to Ole? Not quite. So now it's Dobo. Alfa Alex, Ole and Milan, Leon, ARL and Floyd Pink up into 7th place. Floyd and Marco showing very well here on the medium tyres. Remember, Ricky Maru stopping early for hards at precisely 1/3 distance to run the hards. Potentially one stopping, but that's a long time on the slow hard tyre for Ricky. But will it prove very useful for him? Oh, that was Milan with a slam at the rear of the car in front. He just held on, but so did Ole. I think it was Ole he was with, and he let Leon through. So now Alfa Alex has a better run out of turn 1 through the mild kink of turn 2 before heading to the outside. Well, being forced to the outside, getting past Dobo, Willie. They both destroy their tyres here. Definitely the mediums are fading fast as we hit lap 10, and they were both completely locked up heading into turn 3. Alfa Alex still not able here to launch one, as either Alex or Ole locked up into turn 4. This time Dobo defensive into turn 6. There's no way through if someone holds the middle line of the racetrack into turn 6 and 7. But definitely a sign here that Alfa Alex has got pace in hand now. Is it a question of doing the opposite of the car in front to try and capitalise on your track position? Nobody from the front group heading in. That includes Merckx, who's made it to 6th place here now. Here comes Alfa Alex for the lead of the race, heading in towards turn 1. Ole's going to try and follow him through, is he? Not quite, but this means Alfa Alex, new leader, but for how long, given that he was ahead before the DRS detection point for the second straight. Alex not interested in defending the inside here into the corner. And Dobo not interested in having the lead heading into the corner. He got the inside line, then he backed out early. And that is super, super smart driving. That was Triple Bay out, sadly. It was a good start for the race from Triple Bay, from the race meet, I should say. But unfortunately out. Davy Norris has switched to soft tyres, so we'll definitely stop again. Can't get soft tyres home from here. Dobo, definitely good, sharp thinking strategy there. Claiming the inside line and then not taking the lead so that you get the DRS and you've already got the overlap. Great stuff from him. Alfa Alex in 2nd, Ole in 3rd, Milan in 4th, Merckx from virtually the back of the grid on hard tyres, certainly the back by the midpoint of lap 1, up to 5th place. Now, he hasn't stopped yet. We are still waiting on the pit stop from Moist, who was roughly equivalent to Merckx's position there. Merckx with a couple of great overtakes, and there's another one round the outside of Milan. You could barely see Milan. I thought he was overtaking Leon for one minute there. Up at the front, Alfa Alex going back for the lead, is he? Dobo's around the outside, Alfa to the inside. Alfa doing exactly what I think Dobo just did. Not taking the lead when it was offered to the inside, but I think he lost the DRS, did he? Ole around the outside, Alfa Alex to the inside. Are they going to come together? There is Merckx. Trying to keep the race-winning streak and extend it to 7 Grand Prix race wins from 7 starts. As this is, of course, our 8th round. He didn't take part in the first race, but he's won every feature race since. And on this kind of form, you can't really expect anything else. Dobo leads Ole. Alfa Alex is in 3rd with Merckx right on this. And Merckx is competing with these guys, and he's on hard tyres. Those mediums, of course, starting to fade now. I'll start giving some excuses out for the top 3's pace relative to Merckx. But Ole in the lead now, I think, heading into turn 1. Definitely into turn 1. Dobo, again, not competing all the way. And that looks like Alex with the DRS. Merckx with the DRS on the outside as well. Merckx is going to try this one. Put himself in a tricky position. Everybody knows, though, that Merckx has got something to lose in the championship here. He gets 3rd position nonetheless, but Dobo retakes the lead as well in style around the outside. It is so close between these guys. Ole has the DRS over Dobo. Merckx going for the lead. Merckx for the lead on lap 13 of 36. And this is the point where he's got the pace advantage on the hard tyres over the mediums. And there is Merckx. From dead last to 1st in 13 laps. Tremendous stuff from Merckx. He is the merciless. He is Merckx, the magnificent. And he is back into the lead of the race, leading the championship by a significant margin. Ricky's in 5th. 15th position. And he's got a long way back. Triple Bay saying the game didn't let him change his wing. Computer said no for Triple Bay, I'm afraid, as Moist picks up a penalty down there at the moment in 8th place as he just overtakes his teammate. Thanks for that, Triple Bay. Understood. So you quit out on us because your wing was broken, so that makes sense. And that is Leon going down the inside of Dobo now. I think Dobo has definitely extended these tyres a lap too long. Alpha Alex down the inside, and Dobo was able to put up a much more staunch defence than this earlier on. The gap opening between second and third now, and here they are in battling for that third position. Alex going for the inside line. Ooh, couldn't quite find a Ferrari's width there on the approach into turn 6, but he just about negotiated some space. Dobo in third, Alex in fourth, Leon fifth, and Milan down to 6th now. So I think Milan and I think possibly Dobo have gone a lap too long on their tyres. Will anybody pit at this stage as they run in towards the end of lap 14? No. We start lap 15 with Merckx in the lead by 0.6 of a second. Ole is riding the coattails of Merckx here while he possibly can still hang on to that DRS. He's going to open that gap and open his opportunity to take a podium tonight. Is the pace of Merckx going to be too strong for the rest of the field? Can Ole hang on? Huge lock-up from Alpha Alex into turn 3. And he leads Dobo now from Leon. Where is Ricky? He's in 12th place. But remember, he has stopped where the drivers in front of him have not stopped yet. So Ricky, the highest placed driver who has stopped. And he's just got his teammate as a rear gunner as well. VCARB leading our championship at this stage, the Constructors' Championship. Ole hanging on to the DRS on the back of Merckx, but these drivers slowly but surely drifting away from that. We are hitting the end of lap 15. Is it time to fit the hard tyres? In comes Alpha Alex, in comes Dobo, I believe, leaving Leon and Milan, who really, Milan couldn't pit on that lap. And there is an Alpine, that's Jaffa Jake, up into 4th place. So Jaffa Jake also coming through the field a little bit like Merckx did. And starting this, Atsu also climbing as other drivers pit, but good showing from Jaffa Jake here. Milan down the inside of Leon once again. They are doing an awful lot of overtaking, and that was Jaffa Jake with the up and under, and gaining a position on Leon, who was boxed out of position there. And this is 2 corners, 2 places for Jaffa Jake in, and he's been saving these medium tyres for running the show now. Ole pitted, so he lost that DRS opportunity from Merckx, obviously. Merckx's lead is 6.2 seconds. He has not pitted yet. The medium tyre window on low fuel will be opening soon for Merckx, so he's going to have one of the fastest race cars on the circuit for the latter part of our race. And Jaffa Jake has got into this second position. Great pit stop window here. Will anybody overextend and speed into the pit lane? It won't be Jaffa Jake. He was conservative relative to Milan. So Merckx and Atsu lead the race. 1-2 for Kick Sauber, but 7.7 seconds apart. On the same strategy, it seems. But with that gap, they can afford to pit on the same lap if they need to. There's some tyre smoke from Merckx's car there, just living on turn 3. It's now Merckx, Atsu and Speedy Spud, the only drivers yet to pit. David Norris is on 6-lap-old soft tyres. He'll be pitting again, and he's trying to get a point out of today's race, but I don't think it's looking likely unless we have many more retirements. There's some yellow flags in Sector 1. I think that was a McLaren. Was that Sticky? Just coming unstuck. Oh dear. Even I didn't enjoy that one. Sorry, folks. This is a good battle, though, between Atsu and Speedy Spud. And Ricky Maru has undercut everybody, but he's going to be on old, hard tyres at the end of this race. So can he hang on here? Merckx, of course, still to pit. I'm just going to check out Ricky's gap to leader, because that one is going to be interesting. Ricky's gap to leader is only 12 seconds, so that undercut could actually be majestic. for Ricky. Let's just keep an eye and see how that one develops later on. Here is Spud then, forced to the outside to pass Atsu. So Spud into second. Still no pit stop from these three at the lead of the field. All these drivers who started on the hard tyres, but that was Spud just getting a little bit adventurous on the braking zone on these this age of tyre. But they will be fast later on. Ricky and ARL, I think, are playing a bit of a blinder here. That was a very early stop for Ricky and ARL. Merckx is going to come out behind these guys. And could this be the day? Could this be Ricky's day? Neutral fans among us as we hit the halfway point of the race. Neutral fans will definitely be cheering on Ricky here for a closing up of the championship if possible. Merckx then pits right now. So that should mean that Ricky, if he's been managing these tyres, shouldn't have a problem getting them home. But Merckx is in the pits. Merckx is just pulling into his pit box right now. So Ricky and, really importantly, ARL can play wingman here for the VCARB team and hopefully keep that DRS behind Ricky and be able to present a bit of a wall to our championship leading Merckx. Speedy Spud is in first, ahead of Atsu. They still haven't pitted, these two. Ricky won't be in a hurry to pass them though, because he knows they have yet to pit. They want to run just under half the race distance on the medium, whereas Merckx is going to run half distance exactly on the medium tyre. You ride just on the foam headrest panel of Atsu, and he's going to claim that inside line against Speedy Spud. And that was nicely done by Atsu. I imagine now he'll head into the pit lane and be in a good position here. Ole's stopped earlier than Merckx and undercut him as well. But remember, Merckx has the good tyres on. So this is going to be one hand tied behind Ole's back to try and stay ahead of Merckx. He hasn't got the DRS on the cars ahead of him. And now Ricky and ARL take the lead of this race together onto the start of lap 20. But there's plenty of race left to run. You can see the gap with your eyes to Merckx and Ole. And Merckx is going to come past Ole with fair ease here. Ole will try and now hang on again to that DRS. Make use of that DRS and essentially bring themselves together to the back. David Norris will not pick up a point because he retires on lap 20. And I think in the pits, yeah, there's the Alpine in the pits. So that's not worked for him. And again, we get a very close-up look of the carbon fibre of the halo there on Ole's cockpit look. And Nike's saying the car just wouldn't turn in. That's David Norris for those not in the know. This then is Ole just behind Merckx, but struggling still to hang on to the DRS behind Merckx, who is on the hunt. Those are your top four now on screen, and fifth car of Alpha Alex. But Ricky Maru has the chance now to win on track ahead of Merckx, but the gap is closing. Merckx has medium tyres to Ricky and ARL's hard tyres. Ricky and ARL are going to be in a voice chat together. I am sure they're going to be talking about this really carefully. How do we manage this? And I think key to this this victory for the VCARB team and a 1-2 potentially will be keeping ARL in that DRS zone. ARL, I'm sure, will be awake to that. The two drivers, very experienced league racers, but they come up against here the merciless Merckx on a 6-race winning streak and not about to lie down here. He definitely wants to try and win this and keep that streak running, but Ole's with him, following him behind Moist. Another championship contender, double world champion Moist, is in 9th position. Jaffa Jake is in 8th now after his pit stop. Could still pick up positions here because the top 8 still racing without penalty. And I say key for Ricky will be keeping ARL within DRS. It's also going to be about staying away from those track limits, of course. And Davey saying had to check his rotation at one point. Felt like it was set at 600 degrees instead of, whatever, 360, 400 maybe. I'm not quite sure what you run. I tend to run it quite tight, a bit like a go-kart. I then tend to prefer minimal rotation max, but that was a little bit lackadaisical there from ARL. Ricky will have to manage that gap carefully, because the idea of staying far enough ahead of Merckx for it not to be an issue is completely gone now. We have in store for you essentially we've got 14 laps of nose to tail running once again still to come, and it's back with the usual suspects. This is Merckx. Ricky's going to have to try and keep ARL in that DRS so that Merckx doesn't have DRS profit over ARL, and I think that's exactly what's just happened. But ARL is struggling to hang on to those tyres at this stage. He's got the DRS. He doesn't want to be the one that gives up the position to Merckx, so he takes the middle lane, but he's watching his mirrors, and that is a dangerous place to be when your team leader is in front of you. So ARL has got the toughest job on the track at the moment right now. And Davey's saying he normally runs 400, but last year 280, that is tight. That is really tight. That is tighter, I think, than I've run. And that is ARL just locking up. Can he hang on to the inside line into turn 6? He cannot. So he leaves his teammate vulnerable here. Ricky Maru now has his main championship rival with DRS profit over him. Not much Ricky's going to be able to do here. It could be that Ricky decides to allow him through, as they often do, and trade DRS and just hope to be there at the end of the race. I don't know how close the drivers are to track limit penalties, but this is the first race I think ARL has been right up there with Ricky and Merckx and has got the best seat in the house on that battle. Merckx with a huge lockup almost went wrong. I think maybe Ricky's braking point caught him unawares, and he lost a little touch of momentum. Ricky's given the inside line, and I think that's probably key to not losing these positions. Ole's overtaken AJ. ARL, excuse me, for those watching, don't know that they're the same person, but that is Merckx still in the lead. Ricky Maru right on the tail here, looking for the opportunity to pass. Ole is into third place now, and it looks like ARL cannot hang on to his teammates' pace as the tyre wear really starts to take effect. 15-lap-old hard tyres Ricky Maru has got. I don't think there will be a phase where Ricky's tyres are better than Merckx later on. I think Merckx has balanced this one really, really well, as you would expect from the championship leader. I think he's managed the strategy and the tyre wear expertly. There's a yellow flag at the moment in the pit lane. I think that's okay. That might be 12 Urchin retiring or Sticky retiring. There's a McLaren certainly in the pit lane that has DNF'd. So I think that's what's going on, why we're getting a flashing yellow. I think we'll be okay. That car will park up. Ricky's hanging on here to DRS, but only just, I fear. Merckx locks up into turn 3, and Ole watches on. Let's ride with Ole, just looking behind him as ARL stays within the 1 second, but only just. And Alpha Alex is going to try and enter the fray here. That is a huge moment there for Ricky. Does that lose him the 1 second gap? He's got the chance to close it back up slightly, but he's not going to be able to afford that many errors of that magnitude against Merckx, who can be absolutely robotic on this racetrack. 9.5 tenths the gap slips out to. Ricky needs that DRS so badly for the next detection. It's got to be perfect here. That was another lockup from Ricky, and it just slips out of DRS zone. So I think he's just got it, has it? It looks like there's daylight. There was daylight underneath there, but for a moment it was below 1 second, and Ricky has lost the DRS. Now you see the overspeed on board Ole. That is the lack of DRS on the V-carb in front. And so Ricky is going to have to play a cooperative game here with Ole. And that has helped ARL just close in a little bit as well. Here comes Ole coming through. Ricky probably needs Ole to take the lead and then to get the DRS back as soon as possible. So Ole into second place. And can Ole actually take the battle here on younger hard tyres than Ricky has got? Remember, it was a very early pit stop for Ricky and for ARL off the hard tyre. They knew that would mean some pain later on, but this is going to hurt with 10 to go. Ricky usually following merked home and did so by 0.3 of a second the last lap. The closest one we've had, I think, where Ricky has come in second place. Maybe Jeddah was even closer. I have to say, Jeddah was an absolutely grandstand, everyone on their feet kind of a finish was that one. But here we have the stage now merked, just starting to inch away from these great contenders. Moist, I think that's his second 3-second penalty on Moist car. Dobo loses out to Jaffa Jake. Have we got a bit of a battle happening here? This is Jaffa Jake, and the race is coming to Jaffa Jake in the Alpine. And this is looking very, very good indeed for him. Let's have a look at those penalties. 9 seconds on the Maestro Moist's car is pain. And same on Marco. The Aston Martin's been struggling around this racetrack today. And then we have 3 seconds just on Atsu's car. So Marco keeping it actually quite chill for Marco and the penalty board today. Just to check on positions changed. Mercked up 7, Ricky up 13. So on for driver of the race, Ricky at the moment. But that won't mean anything to him. There's no points for that. There's a point for fastest lap only. And then the points you lose to your main rivals in the championship. And that is what is haunting Ricky right now. And let's have a look at Ricky, shall we? Because he was just closing in quite closely. I'll tell you who else is closing in. Dobo and Moist. As the Williams of Dobo takes Jaffa Jake. Moist tries to run through. And I think Moist is going to make it through. It's very busy, this midfield here. You've got Dobo in 6th. You've got the Alpine just losing out 7th place to the Maestro. But 9 seconds on the Maestro's car. Jaffa Jake is going to be pretty chill about this. But he needs to overtake Dobo, really. Does Jaffa Jake. Alpha Alex in no man's land at the moment in 5th. Not as fast as the top 4, but significantly faster than the rest of the field. That's Ricky going through past Ollie now. Excuse me. So Ollie now with the DRS. Ricky playing defensive, or are they going to cooperate and try and catch Mercked? It is not unheard of for Merck to make a mistake. He is merciless. He is magnificent, but he is not faultless or invincible. So it is very possible. We've seen it in sprint races, in one-shot quali, and occasionally in the race, but he's still won. But he is not completely perfect, and that will keep Ricky on the charge here. His tyres are starting to wear, Merck's tyres. We've got 7 laps to go. Can Ricky find something to try and close that gap down? Try and keep the pressure on. Try and force an error out of Merck. That's all he can do from his position, is try and make sure that Merck makes a mistake. Trips over track limits like we just saw Alpha Alex for the first time. Moist and into 6th place, but +9 on the car. So both 7th and 8th will pass him, no doubt, before the end of the race. And this midfield battle looking amazing here. Led by Moist in 6th. Then comes Dobo. Then comes Jaffa Jake. Ollie passes Ricky Maru again, and I've missed it again. Every time I cut away from this battle, we miss a position change. But Ollie moving through. The gap, though, to the leader still 2.2 seconds. I think this is going to keep running between them, but we have got some great battles going on throughout the field. This is Jaffa Jake in 7th. 0.2 of a second away from 6th place. But Alpha Alex is wearing a penalty, but I think it's only +3. It's Leon on the outside of Moist. Lovely move from the Haas driver again. He's put in some beautiful overtakes today. Oh, but they both tag. They both come to blows. They were running incredibly closely, Moist and Spud. I think they're going to both recover here, but it's been a scrappy day. It's, I think, would be the kindest way to put it. I know Moist picked up damage in the first race, but it's certainly been a difficult day for Moist. And Leon Spud coming out off worse of that exchange as well. Ricky passes back, and then Ollie immediately back through again with the DRS. And the gap still extending. It's not doing them any favours at the front of this race at all. And Jaffa Jake continues now to lead this group as it is thinned down to just 3. Marco still in there. Dobo back into 6th place again. And Jaffa Jake will be most concerned about Dobo because of the similarity in their lack of penalties on the car. Those are our main rivals between each other. It's up 31 of 36. Merck leads Ollie and Ricky Maru and ARL with Alex in 5th. Then this, Jaffa Jake in 6th. Dobo in 7th. We have Marco and Moist in 8th and 9th. I'd be slightly surprised to see Moist not give up a position here to Spud, but I think he knows the penalties are going to take care of that later on. So it's all about finishing as high as possible. Moist with the most penalties on the track at the moment as Marco runs wide through turn 1. This is going to be a 2-horse race then for 6th position as Dobo down the inside once again of Jaffa Jake. Nice clean move, but a bit of a tail wag on the way out. That will allow Jaffa Jake this time as you see Dobo looking right. And, well, no move down the inside there from Jaffa Jake. I was expecting the move to come, but he didn't take it. Ricky just 0.3 of a second away from 2nd place Ollie. But the gap to the leader, 3.2 seconds. And Merckx is going to start to relax now, I think. Start to take it easy. Doesn't need to push. Doesn't need to use the ERS to stay ahead. Can just harvest everything, save it for a mistake, save it for a fastest lap attempt later on even. And that's Moist getting a good over-under opportunity. We'll just check out fastest lap while we're talking about it. And it lives with Merckx, of course it does. 105.4. Leon retires from the session. That is a big blow. Unfortunately, Leon's shown very well today as Jaffa Jake retakes 6th position from Dobo. Another great exchange here between two very fair drivers. Welcome to the league, Dobo. It's great to have someone able to drive like this with the other fast runners. And that was a piece of kart that came off. That was Moist. Front wing end plate off Moist kart as he made contact, I think, with Jaffa Jake's rear end. Dobo down to 7th. Moist dropping behind his teammate, and I think Moist might now come in to the pits and retire. He certainly seems to be cruising through these corners, or having to take it very easy perhaps. But don't be surprised if you see Moist head into the pits now. Yeah, across the grass. Kamikaze run, doesn't care about the damage, doesn't care about the additional penalty, and there is the DNF for Moist, unfortunately. A day to forget for Moist, I'm sure. The stewards may not let him forget today for a little while, but he's done and out. So we're down to 12 races. It's a good job we started with so many today. Merck leads by nearly 5 seconds now with 2.5 laps to go. And this battle continues. I don't know who's going to win out here, Dobo and Jaffa Jake. Marco is right in amongst it. Dobo has a 3-second penalty, so it definitely lends credence to Jaffa Jake. Hoping, but he's going to need to avoid bump and runs like that. That's going to hurt his chances as now Dobo and Marco fight over the next position. There's no way through there. Ricky 0.2 of a second away from Ollie, and certainly will want to finish second if he can't finish first, Ricky. But V-Carb looking for some good points here today at the head of the championship. Oh, that's a cheeky one from ARL. Down past 2 drivers. ARL dive bombing it down the inside. Oh, and a spin. Well, that was short-lived from ARL. Can he rejoin ahead of Alpha Alex? I think he can. That was a very late move, and I think might have hit the apex on the inside and turned the car. I don't think that was Ollie tipping him round. Typically, the driver behind is the one that comes off worse, which tends to be quite fair in terms of the way the game mechanics handle things. ARL settling into 4th position then, unhappily for him, losing 5 seconds to this battle as Merck leads by 6.4 and starts the final lap of the race. Ole is in 2nd, Ricky Maru is in 3rd, and it looks like that is how things are going to finish for us. Alfa Alex might get past ARL, but the penalties will probably take care of that in a few minutes' time. But quite frankly, Merck has continued to be merciless. That was from almost at the back, as Jessica's well happy that Floyd is still there in the chance of a points. That was another scrappy final lap exchange between these two great drivers. It had to come down to it in the end. It couldn't be perfect, but Ricky will hang on, I think, and just wait to see what the stewards say later. Pretty sure Ricky's going to hold on to this one, but Merck has been absolutely sensational in this feature race. He was dead last halfway round lap 1. He pitted on an alternate strategy, and Merck wins his 7th race in a row. He wins the Austrian Grand Prix, and that's 7 from 8 in the championship. Ricky Maru round in 2nd position from Ollie in 3rd. We'll see how that one works out later on. Alfa Alex will come home in 5th behind ARL, who just slots ahead thanks to the penalty countback. Jaffa Jake said it was his race, and he's put in a great show for us. Looks like Jaffa Jake's going to finish 6th place, ahead of Dobo, ahead of Milan, ahead of Dobo and Speedy Spud. Marco in 10th, Floyd Pink in 11th. That is the worst place to finish, unfortunately. But no, there he is. He does it into 10th, thanks to Marco's penalties. And Atsu home. Spectacularly, we have a bookended race by the Sauber team, and that is first and last for Sauber, as an attempted drift finish ends in the barrier for Atsu. AJ said, we tried something and worked very well. It was a good result. I feel like you guys could have got just a little bit higher, but congratulations. Ricky gets driver of the race, but I have to say, Merck was merciless and magnificent as usual. Tremendous stuff from Merck. There is the Union flag again on the podium for Merck. That's win number 7 from attempt number 7 in the Grand Prix today. Goodbye to Jessica. We'll just take you through the provisional results before we wish everybody a goodbye. Thank you so much to everyone who's watched today. Any parting words, please leave them now in the chat. And thank you for your subscriptions, for your likes. It's hugely appreciated. The Champers gets clinked. And there then, the familiar sight of Merck on top. He also wins the day in point count back as well. So that's 26 from the race. And a fastest lap as well. 32 total points from Ricky Maru's, 18 from the race. Then comes Ole and ARL. We have Alfa Alex in 5th. Great result for Ferrari. Jaffa Jake, round of applause for Jaffa Jake in 6th. Milan is 7th. Dobo in 8th. Speedy Spud in 9th. And Floyd Pink with the final point. Marco finished. Atsu did 2 in the barrier at the end. And Moist, Leon, 12 Urchin, Sticky, David Norris, Triple Bay, and Price were our retirees. Folks, that was another great one. That was the middle point of our 16 race championship. It sees Merck on top, continuing his dominance, but can anybody in the second half take advantage? We will see you the same time next week for the International Racing League's round 9. This is Webbo saying thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next race day.